Happy St. Patrick's Day, viewers. This is Sparkster1701. And today, despite the fact that we're looking at an Action Master, we're going to take a look at a character who's probably the closest in the entire Transformer line to having the luck of the Irish. Today, we're looking at the Autobot strategist from 1990, Jackpot. Jackpot came out in 1990 as part of the Action Master wave and would be discontinued with the line in 1991, along with the death of the line here in the States. Jackpot here came with his partner, Sights, and we'll take a good look at the both of them. We'll start here by taking a good look at Jackpot. And he's basically your standard Action Master figure. Jackpot was never released in the line previous, so we really don't know exactly what he was, what he would have transformed into, but we can see by the varying details that he would have been a car of some sort. Although I'm guessing by a lot of the grooves along the sides here, and even more so with this indentation here in the back of his legs, that he became some version of a Ferrari, like either a Ferrari 312 or Ferrari Testarossa. Not enough detail in here to really show it off. Of course, I find it interesting that he would have been a black Ferrari, especially when Ferraris are famously known for being red in a lot of cases. So that's something I kind of miss. I would have liked seeing black Ferrari, you know, especially as I approach midlife. The average midlife crisis usually involves blowing all of their money on a Ferrari. And I don't know, black Ferrari have some form of sex appeal to me. Don't ask me why, folks. I'm strange that way. Now, as typical of an Action Master, he would have the typical articulation. Namely in the fact, good, his head does move. We can turn his head from left and right. He can rotate his arm at the shoulder all the way around for proper aiming of his weapon. There's a metal bar for his legs. It allows the leg to bend at the hip at about 90 degrees, and he can also bend at the knee about 90 degrees. His partner's sights here. You can take a look. He's a robotic bird. Similar in thought to the character of Tallyhawk from the Silverhawks cartoon and associated toy line. Whether or not Sights is as useful or not, that's hard to say. But at least also in this instance, Sights does have some bit of use in the fact that you can mount the gun here just in front of the tail feathers. And then Sights becomes a flying attack bird. Pew, 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 pew. Alright, moving right along now. We're going to transform Sights into the bonus weapon that he becomes. To do so, first of all, you would fold up the blue wingtips all the way up. Once you flip up the head here, the cannon folds out from underneath. Let me do it at a different angle so you can see that happening, folks. My hands were in the way. Move the head up. This time it jams. Flip the gun out. Move it from the side here, and then you can see that it does flip out like that. And then you hold it upside down like this. And you mount the included gun into the front here. They also recommend you put the head back, so that way Jackpot can hold it. And then that's the alternate mode, a photon cannon, which, for all intents and purposes, looks pretty wicked. It just makes Jackpot a little bit top-heavy. How embarrassing. Now maybe if we have him hold the other hand as well. Nope, still top-heavy. Let's see if he can do one better than Bumblebee. If we hold it back here, nope, sights is just going to get in the way. So basically, we have, yet again, the same problem that they have with designing these weapons. The thing does not hold properly, and it just causes him to fall over. Maybe if we had some figure stands from the G.I. Joe line, maybe we could have him stand up properly, but as such, you have a really giant gun that's going to require your imagination for him to use, because he can't hold it right. Or if he does, he just falls forward on his face. Moving right along before my frustration really goes off the wall and over the ceiling, let's take a look at the loose parts Jackpot comes with. And as is typical for the Action Master figures that had a partner, they have removable pieces. We'll start by taking a better look at sights here. Not really much to see on him, but you'll notice he is now missing his feet. Sight's feet are removable. We'll bring one up close to the camera here so you can get a real good look at it. Both of his feet are exactly the same here, folks, so there's no need to bring the other one up close. But as you can imagine, these are very small, very thin, thus very easy to lose. So if you can get a Jackpot that has a complete sights with both feet, count your blessings. You don't have to go looking for his feet. And then lastly, we have his gun. It's listed in the instructions as being a heat-induced photon rifle. So basically, when it merges with sights, it just becomes a cannon instead. So sights must be putting a lot of power into this thing. Wonder what it's fueled by. Energon or bird droppings? Admit it, you were thinking it too. Especially if you hate Action Masters. Moving right along now, let's take a look at his card backer. As you can see, we got a rather interesting picture here of Jackpot. And of course, since even though this one's a UK version as well, this one doesn't have the advert covering over the weapon like the one did with Bumblebee that y'all saw about a month ago. Turn this around to the back side and take a look here at Jackpot's power plans. I mean, some of it I can see being useful due to him being a somewhat skilled character. He has rotary gripper arms, so you can imagine he's got some good rotation in his hands. Pity the toy doesn't. One would wonder why he has a phototronic information receptacle in his ankle. Or, even more mysteriously, why his target configuration scanner is in his crotch. It almost makes you wonder, folks, who the boop designed these things? Moving right along before the silliness really takes the cake around here. We get up here to the stuff that it includes. And it just shows Jackpot, sights, and the gun. So don't forget, folks, consult my feature just a few moments ago for what he includes, not what the card backer shows, because it doesn't mention that Sights can lose his feet. And it shows you here how to mount the gun, that it can be held by Jackpot or stuck on Sights. And then basically how to convert Sights into a weapon. And then down here we have the robot points. Jackpot was worth 1.5 points, despite the fact there really wasn't many offers available at that time. Then down here we'll get to his tech spec. It has a picture of him, which sort of matches the picture on the front of the package. It's done up in red to indicate his faction as Autobot, despite the fact it says it in very big white letters. It lists his name as Jackpot, and his function is Strategist. His motto is, "You can't win if you don't play." Sounds like the motto of most state lotteries. A boisterous, high-stakes do-gooder, able to turn any situation into a wager and usually win. Once bet a Decepticon prison guard, he could escape from the most fortified containment cell without being noticed. That guard is now serving time in his place. Good luck is part of his programming. His partner, Sights, always has his sonar locked onto anything that can make Jackpot score big. Sights converts to handheld, self-propelled photon cannon. Sounds a bit silly, folks. But if we're looking for anybody to boost about having all sorts of good luck, he'd be the one. Especially if he's going around with some pub wisdom today and green beer. Now then again, he's a Transformer. Green Energon. Moving right along here, we'll take a look at his stats. It lists his strength as 7, his intelligence 9, his speed a dismal 2, his endurance is 8, as is his rank, his courage is 10, his firepower is 7, and his skill is 10. So he's a pretty good strategist and very courageous. The only thing you got to worry about is the fact that he is pretty slow. So one almost wonders how in the heck did he manage to escape that prison without being noticed if he's that slow. Now we get down to what do I think of him. Jackpot comes off as a very colorful character. And it's almost a shame that the media that was being released for Transformers at the time was long gone and didn't get a chance to include him. He might have been a fun character to have seen in the cartoon or read about in the comic books, just to see how his good luck would have panned out, or some of the silly situations he would find himself in and have to luck his way out of it. So it might have led for some comic appeal, and maybe a few plot points onto it. But beyond that, there really isn't much going for Jackpot. He basically, as a strategist, he's taking over the function from Grotesque that came out 3 years prior. So, and with him having almost the same skill level as Grotesque does with it, it's basically a toss-up as to why the one was replaced with this one. In terms of rankage, I would put Jackpot somewhere in the middle tier. He's not quite good enough to be at the top tier, especially with the pretty flat bio and such, but I don't think he's bad enough to warrant the bottom tier. I mean, yes, the conversion of sights to the cannon is stupid, and even in that mode, he looks stupid. But he does have an interesting character bio written about him, and I can imagine that he would have been a fun character to have had on the team. And that concludes my review of the Generation 1 Autobot strategist, Jackpot. If you like the video, thumbs up it here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Like this video, share it with others, post a comment, and share your thoughts with me. That helps keep this channel growing. This is Sparkster1701, once again wishing you all a happy St. Patrick's Day. Don't indulge too much in the green beer, and I'll catch y'all later.